Yeah, we'll move on to the last disappointing matchup: the Lakers versus the Rockets. I'll let you go first.
Game one. Game one was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Rockets small ball prevailed this time. Lakers 10 offensive rebounds, and the Rockets had 4. I found that the Rockets won, even though they missed all these wide open threes, which is weird to me. Like, they got a lot of open looks from 3 and missed a lot of open ones.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if, that's due for progression, and if that's going to bite the Lakers in Game 2. That's the question. And what do you think? What do you think is going to happen in Game 2? Or what are your notes from Game 1? What do you think?
Harden can't shoot that well again. Well, he can, but I'm saying we can't let him shoot that well again. Can't shoot 12 of 20 and drop 36. And another thing, Eric Gordon shot 50% and had 23 points. Like, you can't allow 3 people to score over 23 points. That's just not, it's not going to happen. They scored, Eric Gordon, Russell Westbrook, and Harden combined scored 83. Like, come on. You can't do that. Like, you need to, I don't know what was going on, but our defense was not there. Our offense was not there. When Alex Caruso was your third scoring option, he scored 14 points, which is what you've been saying all year. How Kuzma was not a good third option. And I was like, I'll give him a little bit of time, whatever. No, he's not. And he's not built for the playoffs.
Like, the Clippers' third option is probably Lou Williams or Montrezl Harrell, and the Lakers have Kuzma, who has done nothing.
He really hasn't done much.
He has done nothing. And I'm also looking at the weirdest thing to me was that Rondo played 25 minutes.
Okay, and for you Lakers fans out there that said Rondo coming back was a good thing, did you watch any Lakers basketball this year at all? Rondo hasn't been good at all for us. He's done nothing for us.
It actually physically hurts to watch him.
Dude, he's awful. I'm not kidding. Hurts. He's awful. He does not deserve to touch the court. I'm not kidding. He is so bad. He doesn't bring anything to the team other than passing, which is what LeBron is there. LeBron's doing. So why does that matter? But I'm not too pissed from Game 1 because this is what happened with the Blazers, and I overreacted. But this team is not the Blazers. They're not the Blazers at all. This is a much better team than the Blazers, and we can't just come out all soft and BS next game. LeBron needs to be more aggressive. He should not be shooting the ball 15 times. He should be shooting it 25 times. I don't care how many times he shoots it. Just shoot the damn ball a bunch of times. And then AD was getting strapped by PJ Tucker. Strapped. I don't know if you saw
what was that stat?
AD was guarded by PJ Tucker 26 times. He scored 0 points and had 2 turnovers.
That guy's a brick wall, man. That guy's a brick wall.
6'5". He's 6'5". I thought he was 6'8". He plays like he's big. He's 6'5".
But he's 250 pounds.
He's just a tank.
He has a 7-foot wingspan. I could have told you this. I could have told you that this was going to happen because I've seen PJ Tucker defend anybody. I've seen him guard Kevin Durant better than I've ever seen anybody guard Kevin Durant. Anybody. In that in that Rockets Warriors series that went 7 games a couple of years ago. Yeah. He was unreal against Kevin Durant. But this small ball, well, they're calling it micro ball because they don't even have anybody.
Bro,
their center's 6'5".
Well, yeah, their tallest guy on the court is 6'7".
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on.
It's crazy, man.
It's weird how it's working too, bro.
What do you think's going to happen the rest of the series?
Rest of the series, again, I'm not going to overreact after one game, but I think the Lakers win in 6. I think we make our adjustments. LeBron, Vogel, I don't know if anyone else said it, but they always talk about how Game 1 is the exam. They examine their opponent Game 1 and they adjust.
Yeah.
They examine their opponent and adjust. So I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let it play out, see how it goes. Because I overreacted after the Blazers.
Sounds like he's making some excuses. I don't know.
I'm not getting started with this.
Did you see what he said? He said, "I've always felt the team that played a Game 7 has a slight advantage, but we can't look at that as any type of excuse."
The team that plays Game 7 has an advantage. Oh, let's see. Who played in a Game 7 and lost by more than 20? Oh, the Denver Nuggets. What advantage did they have? I'm confused.
They were gassed.
They were gassed.
And it looked like the Lakers were gassed.
Yeah.
They had a week off.
The Rockets were just running down the court 2 times the speed as we were. It was whatever, man. I know. I hope we can make the adjustments. I have the Lakers in 6, but what do you have?
I also think that the Lakers are going to win in 6. In theory, this small ball would be deadly and it would kill the Lakers, but I don't think the Rockets are good enough from 3 to do it. They're not the best shooting team. They're 24th in the league in 3-point percentage and 23rd in catch and shoot 3-point percentage.
Wow.
So that's, I mean, the 23rd in catch and shoot 3-point percentage was before they got Covington, but at the same time, I mean, how much could it have improved? I know he's a really good shooter and defender. But yeah, this isn't going to end up like the Blazers series.
Not. This team's much better than the Blazers.
The main difference is that, I mean, LeBron's not being guarded by Gary Trent this series as the best option to defend him. Mm-hmm. You know, he's got Eric Gordon. I mean, he's not the best defender, but he's a little bit bigger. You got Robert Covington, who's phenomenal. Mm-hmm. PJ Tucker, Jeff Green. James Harden has stepped up big time really on defense. And I've always seen that.
I know. You're one guy who always talks about how Harden is good on defense when he actually...
I've been saying it for years, and people just laugh at me.
Yeah. When he actually puts the effort in, yeah, he's
his lateral movement is insane. His strength, his ability to contest shots. I mean, he swatted... I mean, we all saw the block on Lou Dort. But he swatted AD as well underneath the basket.
I saw that, yeah.
So...
Yeah, I mean, it should be a good series. You know, hopefully the Lakers do prevail, but we'll see.
Yeah, so I just think that if the Rockets were better, because most of their guys are kind of like average league shooters, percentage-wise, like Jeff Green, PJ Tucker, you name it. I mean, Eric Gordon's above average. Yeah. I don't know what his percentage is, though.
Covington he's a...
Russell Westbrook was interesting last game. I thought he played well, really well. He had 24 on 10 of 24 shooting. Mm-hmm. My only criticism, I'd say, is that he shot 5 threes. And he only made one of them. He needs to stop that.
If he shoots like 2, all right, whatever. If they're open, 2, 3 if they're open, all right. But he shouldn't be taking 5.
Right.
He's much better mid-range inside. Mm-hmm. And he can get right past whoever is guarding him. So he should always take him to the rack.
The thing is, I don't find that Russell Westbrook and James Harden work that well together. I know a lot of people do think that they do, but they're both very ball-dominant players. And so when you have them on the court at the same time, it definitely takes away from one of them.
I just think Russell Westbrook needs to learn how to play a role, kind of like how to like step back a little bit, let Harden do his thing, and then when Harden needs help, that's when you go help.
Right, but it's hard when they're playing 5 out and Westbrook's like sitting in the corner and he's not a good shooter, so it doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just not a good combo for me, and that's another reason I'm still sticking with the Lakers. I do think it's going to be a pretty spectacular series, though.
It should be good.
This small ball, though, man, it's interesting. Dude, I think it really would work if they had better shooters.
I did not think, like, again, the last video that we put up, you were telling me how the small ball is going to work great, and I was just like, who's going to guard AD? Who's going to do this? No, they've done a great job on that so far.
Yeah. So I mean, defending's more about positioning.
And now Vogel wants to play AD at the 5, and AD kind of voiced his opinion on it, saying he doesn't like playing center. So I don't know how that's going to work.
Why don't you let the coaches coach?
Yeah. So, whatever.
And so... this all started in January, I guess, this small ball thing. In a game versus the Jazz, this is before they traded for Covington, in January, the Rockets had Westbrook out and James Harden out. They were on the road in Utah. Their starting lineup, nobody was over 6'6". They had Rivers, Gordon, McLemore, Danuel House, and PJ Tucker. That's 1 through 5. Mm-hmm. And they beat the Jazz. Like, I guess it played to their advantage to have Rudy Gobert having to guard the perimeter. You take him out of the paint, kind of like what they're doing.
That's what they're doing with the Lakers.
Exactly. So when you take Anthony Davis, who's a great shot blocker, out of the middle of the paint, it leads to a way better offense.
Yeah, we have just Westbrook cut. Harden can cut to the hoop.
Exactly. Do you have any keys for the Lakers moving forward? Do you think what adjustments do you think they should make? Or what adjustments do you think the Rockets should make?
The Rockets are doing fine, I think. After what I saw game one, Rockets really don't need to do much other than hit their shots, which, I mean, that'll happen. I mean, I don't expect them to miss that many open threes again. Like, they'll sink them. Lakers, though, I want to see more aggression from LeBron. Like, I understand, like, oh, LeBron passed the ball. LeBron's our playmaker. LeBron gets rebounds. I don't give a shit about rebounds, dude. I don't care. We have AD to get rebounds. Who cares? Like, I want him to be more aggressive. Like, he was kind of soft game one against the Blazers. And then game two, I'm pretty sure, was that the game he dropped 10? What game was it he dropped 10? 3? I don't remember which game it is.
That was game two.
And then game three comes out and drops like 35.
Right.
Like, I want that LeBron. Show me aggression. Like, go to the rack, either draw a foul or kick it out and hit one of our shooters. Danny Green needs to start hitting his shots. Caldwell Pope needs to start hitting his shots because
Caldwell Pope is so streaky,
dude,
man.
He's
incredibly streaky.
It's the same thing with Danny Green. Either he's hitting his shots or he's not at all. There's no middle ground. It's either you are or you aren't. And they just need to start being more consistent. And like, moving forward into next year, the Lakers really need to get a third option. And if they don't get a third option, they need to get someone who can shoot.
Right. Like for real.
Like an actual shooter. Like someone we can depend on in the playoffs.
They should have tried their hardest to get Buddy Hield.
I would have loved Buddy Hield.
Buddy Hield would have been great for you guys.
That would have been fantastic.
I have some keys for the Lakers moving forward. I don't know. I think I wrote this down. I'm not too sure about it, though. I said match the Rockets' small ball. So don't, like, LeBron was screaming out there, or not screaming, but he was telling Vogel that there was no spacing, which was true. You had two bigs in there, which kind of clogged everything up, made it easier for the Rockets to defend them. I would say
I was about to say how
Kuzma at the 4.
Okay.
And then you put AD at the 5. And LeBron plays a 3. Or no.
Well, he's a 3, but he brings the ball up. He's like our point guard.
Okay. Then I guess you'd have
KCP and Danny Green.
KCP and Danny
There's no one else.
Yeah, and then you're able to stretch the floor that way. KCP can light it up from 3 on a good day. So you just hope he has one. I also said that the Lakers need to, this is an absolute necessity, is to defend the corner 3. It's okay if the Rockets get some open looks from 3 as long as it's above the free throw line, Because on league average, teams shoot about, I think 23% of their threes are from the corner, but the Rockets shoot it 33%. So they're really embracing analytics here. It's an advantage to shoot from the corner. So PJ Tucker.
Oh yeah, PJ Tucker lives in that corner.
He literally lives in the corner.
It's his favorite shot.
Right? So when you're trying to give help to the guy defending, say you're at the top of the key and you're trying to give help to the guy defending James Harden, and they have 5 out, right? You don't want the guy from the corner to come help because that puts you in trouble. It leaves the corner wide open. You want the guy from above the free throw line that's defending the wing.
It's kind of like how they guard Giannis. It's kind of like how the Heat guard Giannis. You want those 2 guys that are right there to help you stop the main 3.
Right,
and kind of focus on
and not completely commit so that you could still close out on the shooter. But worst case, that you're giving an open shot to an inefficient 3, especially for the Rockets, who aren't the best shooters. What else do I have? Yeah, I think that's
pretty much it.
That's pretty much the keys for them. Defend the corner 3 is the biggest key.
Yeah.
I'm still sticking with the Lakers between, the shooting woes for the Rockets. They weren't able to knock down their wide open shots.
I'm just hoping we take another game 1 as just like okay, this is what they do. We'll adjust. Come out next game better. Hopefully that's how it goes, but we'll see. Because the Rockets are not. They're not the Blazers, like we said.
So. And then also between Westbrook and Harden not being the best together, I think is enough for me to stay on the Lakers.
Okay.
And also Westbrook, I forgot to leave this out. He went plus 15, plus minus. He went plus 15 in 32 minutes. And he led that 10-0 run to kind of put the Lakers away in the fourth quarter, which was great. And that was with Harden off the court. So I'm saying Like, he was great, but Harden was off. So it works better when one of them is. It just works better for.
It's kind of like how the Lakers sometimes do it, where they have LeBron off the court and they keep AD, and then they take AD off and they bring LeBron
Right.
in. So, yeah, I mean, interesting.